Is there really a big difference? Hey, this is John Young here. Today I'm going to answer a question I had on ratchets. We've talked a lot about different socket sets, and one of the socket sets I've talked a lot about has been the recent one that came out maybe 2 years ago from Craftsman, and that is the gunmetal version of their ratchet socket set. Now, the biggest difference between these three, obviously there's color difference, that's meaningless. Beyond the gunmetal is a brand, or I should say a level within the Craftsman line. I've got a Stanley, I've got a DeWalt, and I have the Craftsman. Now the big difference between these three, beyond the size of, we've got 1/4 inch, let's see, these two are 1/4 inch and this one's 3/8. That's, for this demonstration, that's meaningless also, is that this is a 36 tooth, this is a 72 tooth, and this is a 120 tooth. What that means is, if you listen to this, I'm going to move it closer to the mic. That means that to go all the way around like that, you're going to have 36 clicks. If you were looking at the DeWalt, this is a 72, so it would have 72 clicks to go all the way around. And then the Craftsman would be, you can hear it sounds like it's a much finer tooth, 120 teeth. What that does, or what that means, is that when you get into a fine spot, say if I'm going to be working on something over here and I don't have a lot of room to swing because of something in the way, when you have more teeth in the ratchet, that allows you to have more action. You're able to go, and just by changing a little bit of degrees, you're going to have more movement on the socket. Whereas if you have a 36, you may be able to only just gain just a tiny bit in that one click, whereas with the higher, or the more fine tooth ratchet, you're going to be able to move that socket much more. 36 is what we pretty much all grew up with. This is literally, this Stanley was one of my first socket sets that I purchased when I was getting started here about 35 years ago. Yeah, probably 35, 40 years ago type of thing. I think I picked this up in high school, somewhere in that ballpark. The DeWalt 72 tooth is kind of a common now. This is 72 is generally what you're going to find. DeWalt and other brands do carry a finer tooth, but this is one that I have in the garage here that I keep with it. Then the Craftsman one, this is one I have in my workspace where I want to have a little bit nicer ratchet. One of the questions people have asked already about the different the ratchet, the tooth ratchets, is the Craftsman one that's going to stand up? Well, as you all know, Craftsman tools, they stand behind those. They've got the lifetime warranty. If this is going to fail because of the teeth or something to that effect, they'll take care of it and deal with it. Truthfully, I have torqued with all three of these over different projects over the year, and I have not had any problem whatsoever, to the point where the ratchet did not work or wouldn't do the job, so I had to go get a breaker bar. So I know that they can handle someone that's probably stronger than smart jumping on it to make it work, and it doesn't work. So I wouldn't be afraid of using any of these, because I use all three of these on different projects depending upon which ratchet I grab when I need it for that application. So again, there's 36, 72, and 120. So it really depends on the area in which you're going to be working. If you're working in a car and you have a very limited space, getting into something like the gunmetal version is going to give you a little bit more access to do things inside that tight, confined space of an automobile. This is John Young. Thank you for watching.
For more tips and how-to videos, go to weekendhandyman.com.